Inside the Flyers locker room with former Flyer defenseman Brad Marsh, now head of the Alumni Association, so you must be swelled with pride as you walk off the ice tonight.
Well, it was a great weekend. You know, we kicked it off at Sugar House Casino last night, but, you know, whenever we do an alumni event, it's fun and it's easy to do. Yeah, it's a lot of planning and all that, but it is fun and easy because the guys are just happy to be here, and to see the guys interact, it's just very good. And you know, we bring them back because we like to see them, but we bring them back for the fans to see them.
19,000 people out there for warm-ups. I mean, the response was great.
Yeah, it was incredible. And, you know, talking to Eric Lindros earlier, who was inducted in the Hall of Fame this year, and they have the big game up there, the Hall of Fame game, Hall of Fame Classic. They don't even sell out the building for that, and they have a ton of superstars up there. So it's just, you know, it's just a testament to the Flyer faithful. They're Flyer fans, true and true, and they'll support, and they'll come out. Like, let's face it, it's really not much of a game, but they want to come out and just cheer on their idols.
Speaking of those idols, I know Bobby Clark said this will probably be his last alumni event. Billy Barber said this will be his last. But when you mention LCB line, or you mention the younger lines, the Legion of Doom line, and some of the guys that, you know, Simone Gagne out there getting the job done, and Danny B looks like he could still play. So the torch is being passed.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is from our alumni does a lot of work. So, you know, yeah, maybe, you know, Reggie and Clarkie and Billy, they won't be lacing the skates up, but they'll be at several alumni events moving forward. So it's not like we're never going to see them again. They'll be at lots of alumni events. But from a hockey standpoint, yeah, lots of Flyers alumni out there in North America and in Europe, so we can bring all kinds of guys back.
And we're the Jersey Shore, so I know you guys come down to the skate zone in Atlantic City. This was going to be the second year for that fantasy camp?
Yep. No, it's fourth year. Fourth year.
Time flies when you're having fun.
That's right. So, you know, we've already I think we got 30 people signed up for it already. So, you know, we cut it off at, you know, 50 or 60 people, so it'll be another good event.
And for the people that don't know what Brad Marsh is doing these days, what is Brad Marsh doing these days?
Well, I'm Director of Community Development for the Flyers, and I just recently moved back to Philadelphia, and President of the Alumni, so everything's all good.
Welcome home.
Okay, thank you.
Brad Marsh inside the Flyers locker room. Inside the Flyers locker room with Simone Gagne. Tell me a little bit about what it was like for you out there tonight.
Well, it was fun, really special, you know, to be back here in Philly, you know, with her fans, and be able to wearing the Flyers jersey again, playing with some Flyers legend and some guys that I played with my first couple of years. So just that, you know, and especially in the warm-up. The warm-up was really special, you know. There was a lot of people there to attend the warm-up and be able to, you know, look around and enjoy everything. Was fun.
19,000 people for the warm-up even. I mean, but would you expect anything less in this town?
Not really. You know, you need to expect it from those fans. They're the best fans in the world, and you know, I'm not surprised. You know, and but at the same time, you know, you think that now it's just old-time hockey type. You know, and maybe you'll expect it will be like 8,000-10,000 people. You know, something like that. But you know, I'm not surprised. This is a great hockey town, and it was fun for me and my family to come back here and just taste that one more time again.
I think Mr. Snyder probably would have loved this tonight.
I'm sure he had some good seat up there, you know, somewhere, and you know, to see a different generation, you know, from the start to you know, me, Danny, and you know, Fridge, you know, the last couple of guys that retired. So it was fun to see a different group of age there on the ice, and everyone end up finishing the game, so that's a good thing. So really happy that you know the score 3-3. Maybe it's the best ending for both teams. You know, we all proud. They're proud too on the other side. So maybe the best way to end that 3-3.
For those that don't know, what's Simone Gagne up to these days?
I'm back home in Quebec City, where I'm from, with the family. So 3 kids now, so that keep me busy, and sons start to play might hockey, so I try to coach them a little bit, so keep me busy on weekend, and once in a while I get back on the ice with some friends back there, and for now I just take it easy. You know, it's been a year and a half since I stopped, so maybe 2 years now, so I just enjoy stay with the family and be back home.
Number 12, Simone Gagne, inside the Flyers locker room. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Inside the Flyers locker room with Bill Barber, number 7. Billy, what was it like out there for you tonight?
Well, it was, I guess, an honor and a thrill all in one. We had a chance for Clark and Reggie, to play together the LCB line and play in front of 19,000 people. So I do thank the fans of Philadelphia. They were great to come out and support us. So emotional. To be honest with you, it's sometimes it chokes me up a little bit to talk about it, but it's time. We're all in our mid 60 plus, and it's time to kind of hang the skates up before we get hurt, to say the least.
And one of the beautiful things about this game, though, was that it was a nice handing of the torch, too, as the Legion of Doom line comes out and the younger guys, Gagne and Danny Briere still has stuff. There's guys to pass the torch to.
There's no question. It's time for those guys to carry it, and we've done our time, and we did the best we could do. So from that end of it, I'm happy for those guys. I will be here, just won't be on the ice. And I'll support them. They're a great bunch of guys to be associated with, and it's great all the way around.
You mentioned the 19,000. There was 19,000 for warm-ups. Pooley was talking about that, and I heard you talking to Scoop Cooper a minute ago. Mr. S would have loved this.
Oh, he would. He would have been just absolutely be thrilled. And I wish he knows. He's up there. He's watching. And, with that said, we lost a lot of good people, and he's been the latest, and along with Ricky McLeish, and it's heartbreaking. It's tough. And anyway, they're in a better place, and they're resting in peace.
You know that we're 97.3 down the shore, so we see you down there quite a bit, and a lot of people see Billy Barber down there quite a bit. Tell us about your jaunts at the Jersey Shore.
Well, we go down there. I keep a camper down there, an RV in Avalon area. So with that said, I have a seasonal site, so I usually camp in May and early part of June, and then again in September and the early part of October. So, and sometimes in the summer, depending, I go to Canada in the summer and spend it, but a lot of times I come back and spend it at the shore, and it's great. It's a great spot, good people, great people, and it's nice to be part of it.
What does it say about the Jersey Shore that Bernie's got his boat down there, and TK, Tim Kerr's the mayor of Avalon, unofficially, right? And, Propper's got a place in Ocean City. I mean, the Jersey Shore was where all these guys migrate.
I mean, look what it has to offer, and how can you go wrong not by being there, truthfully. So, like I said, it's always a great time heading there.
Well, we'll finish by asking you this. 50 years of Flyers hockey, your favorite memory in 50 years?
Oh, boy. I got a few of them. Obviously, the Cup years, the winning the Stanley Cups were everything. I think the 35 games that we went as a team there without a loss is a big part of it, too. I guess the biggest thrill is playing with my teammates. I loved every one of them. They're great guys, and it is a team. It's not an individual game, and I was lucky to be part of it.
Flyers great, NHL great, Bill Barber inside the locker room. Inside the Flyers locker room with former Flyers captain Dave Poulin. Dave, tell us a little bit about tonight's game and what your thoughts were out there.
Just fun. From the minute we stepped on the ice, the full building. And the warm-up had a full building. And I think I'm getting smarter in my old age. And you take the time when you're skating around to look at people's faces, which you don't do when you're playing in a Stanley Cup playoff game, obviously. But you look actually at people's faces, and you see their reactions, and you see the smiles, and you see the happiness. And at the airport in Toronto, I ran into 4 guys on Thursday morning, and I saw a Flyers t-shirt and then a Flyers hat, and then I heard one of them say, "Hey, that's Dave Poulin getting on our plane." And I'm like, "Please tell me you're not coming down here to watch old guys skate." And they laughed. They said, "We're old guys." And, each generational fan has their favorite player. And you could see it tonight. There were the Clark Barber Leach. There was a Pullen, Propp, and Kerr. There was a Legion of Doom. There was a Danny Briere, Gagne group. Everybody had their own realm that they grew up in. And, it's kind of funny because the Goldbergs and Adam Goldberg grew up watching our generation. And we've actually, gone back and forth on Twitter about it because he grew up watching us, and that's what we are. And my poster's up and his brother's, and it's kind of funny. And but that's very accurate and very true.
Right, and they reflect the spectrum in a few of those episodes, and some of the memories come flooding back. What was this game like compared to the outdoor one?
Different because you were in the building. The outdoor one, I've only played in that one outdoor game, and it's a different feeling. The depth perception is different. You're walking out, there's 47,000 people, and you don't.
Do you recognize me? That's fine.
Right in the middle of my interview.
No, go ahead.
And I'll, you get to a point where it was the first time my youngest daughter had ever seen me play in that, and that's almost surreal. 47,000 people on a sunny day, and it's different, right? But tonight was a hockey game, and it was in our building, and it was at home, and I mentioned earlier that we, out of all the teams that transitioned to new buildings, for whatever reason, the Flyers lost the least, going from the Spectrum to here. And other buildings, the Boston Garden, the TD Center, is no comparable, not even close. But this building is guys still talk to me about it all the time. They talk to me about, oh my God, the building is still going in there. And when I would come in as the vice president of the Leafs, our coaches would be saying, oh, we're playing the Flyers. I'm like, they're not tough. You're living in a dream world. Like, they're not Dave Brown's not playing, Rick Dawkins not playing. And we just laugh about it, But that mystique of that aura, and I will point to one person, that's Mr. Snyder, And,
just about to ask you that. Were there a lot of thoughts about Mr. Snyder?
Yeah, absolutely. He'd have been so proud of tonight. He'd have been so proud to see the building full during the warm-up and the reaction of all the fans, and just special.
Tell me a little bit about Dave Poulin these days. What are you up to? You mentioned your Leafs gig. What are you up to now, and where are you living, and what are you doing?
Well, evidenced by the face mask tonight, the full face mask. I'm on TV now, TSN up in Canada. So we laughed. I said, my face is my money, so I need to last guy in the locker room again, Kevin. What's going on? And so I'm on a couple of regular TV shows. I have a radio show up there, and do a lot of the Ottawa Senators games out of Toronto. So really enjoying the world.
And do you have a Twitter handle? Are you on Twitter so people can follow you?
Yeah, DJ Pullen 20. DJ Pullen 20. And I'm just kind of delving into the tweeting world and really love it. And I tweeted the roster out tonight, and I said, how can Poulin, Propp, and Kerr be a third line? Has anybody heard of these first two lines? So,
right. LCV and Legion of Doom, 1 and 2.
Who are they?
Former Flyers captain Dave Poulin, that goal against the Quebec Nordiques shorthanded will live on in Flyers memories forever. Thanks for joining us, Cap.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Inside the Flyers locker room with number 26, Brian Propp. Proper, what was it like for you out there?
Well, it was a lot of fun. I had a couple good shots, which is good for me. But the goalies were too strong for us. Otherwise we could have won it.
Now, I know you were part of the Winter Classic alumni game, and that was a lot of fun. How did this compare to that?
It's sort of the same thing. I think that it was a little bit easier this time because New York was too pumped for the Keenan, so it wasn't as much fun. But they're both equal with as far as the time what we spent and for how much it helps with the charities that we raised a lot of money just for the charities from the hockey game.
Now, I know that this is a situation, too, where this was the perfect mix of, old and young, and, Bobby Clark went on and said this is probably going to be the last game I play in. Billy Barber said this is probably going to be the last one that I play in. Was that also cool to see the mix of the generations?
Well, it's always good to see because, I played with him for 5 years when I first started, and I know the three decades that I played with these different guys. I know them all. I live here, I work here, and so it makes it fun, and we have a good alumni where we still hang out a lot.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about your personal struggles and what you overcame to be a part of this hockey game. Tell us about that.
Since I had my stroke in September of 2015, I've made a lot of progress. I still have speech problems but I'm still working with that once a week. And my right hand and fingers don't work that well yet, but I'm getting better and stronger. I can still shoot the puck if I need to. I wanted to pass it a little more. I wanted to set up Tim Kerr, but it didn't work that way.
How much fun was that to be on a line with TK? I mean, he just told me he had to put skates on in 20 years, so just to have those memories come back.
Well, we did a practice last Monday, and it was nice that we had a few guys at the practice, and having Dave Poulin there with Tim Kerr and me, we spent a lot of years together, and we're really good friends, and we're the top leaders of the Flyers.
For you, what's going on with you these days? What are you doing business-wise, and what are you doing personally?
So I'm working with the Flyers as an ambassador for all the home games with Burning Prawn, and so it was very nice of them, to have me there. Other than that, I just
doing a lot of charity work and helping a lot of people that I need to.
Well, and the right hand may not be the way you want it to, but you could still do that guffaw.
Yeah, definitely. Guffaw.
You've been listening to Brian Propp inside the Flyers locker room. Inside the Flyers locker room here with former right winger Tim Kerr back to the ice for the first time in a long time. What'd you think out there tonight?
Well, I'll tell you, the atmosphere was unbelievable with a sold-out crowd, and it's the first time I played in this building. I always played in the Spectrum, and it was tremendous. And not only to be with the guys in my era, but the younger guys and the older guys. So it was a lot of fun. Enjoyed myself immensely.
Now, I know you're well known to listeners of our audience for 97.3 because you're down in Avalon a lot. You do so much with charity work down there. When the Winter Classic came, did you regret not playing in that and saw this and said, you know what, I need to be a part of this?
Well, I had my right knee replaced, so I was unable to play in the Winter Classic, but it looked like it was a lot of fun. I know the guys had a great time, and it was great that another opportunity came up so I could join in.
Tell me about being able to be on a line with these guys again, Poulin and Propp, and just what memories come flooding back when you step out.
Well, it's amazing, because obviously we were together for a long time, and to get back with them is the highlight of my weekend, this weekend, being with these guys, and enjoying the time, and good memories to think back to our old days for sure.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but we had Boucher on the radio, Brian Boucher on the radio the other day, and he said he asked you, when's the last time you skated? When was the last time you had skated?
I think I've got it close to 20 years, so it's been a long time, but the equipment's different, the skates are different, so it's tough getting the hang of it a little bit, but it was a lot of fun and enjoyed it.
I know the sticks are much lighter. That's always a little bit weird, the composite sticks.
Definitely lighter, but not only lighter, it's tough to handle the puck, so I think I'm better off with a little more wood in my hand, a little heavier, but it's good stuff. Great weekend. Proud to be a part of it in the Flyers.
And did you go to a public skate sort of quietly just to see if the wheels would work?
I did. The Flyers
are very incognito.
I am. And the Flyers are very kind to send me the equipment. And when the skates came, I went to the Atlantic City Skate Zone in public skating, paid my $8, and did a few loops
just to see if the wheels still worked, right? Well, our listeners are going to want to know what's with Tim Kerr these days. I mean, I know they do see you around Avalon and stuff, but what are you doing personally and professionally?
Just, trying to kick back a little bit, enjoying the family and keep following them all over the place, but same old thing.
Tim Kerr in the Flyers locker room here for the Flyers alumni game.